Welcome everyone to day one of the 2017 World Para Swimming Championships right here in the Francisco Marquez Olympic Swimming Pool in Mexico City. Well, a lot of great events in prospect over the next 6 days. I am Paul Noble. I'll be taking you through those action from those 6 days. I'm joined in the commentary box this morning by Liz Johnson. Morning, Liz.
Morning, Paul.
Well, teams already warming up. It's a bit chilly on poolside, you have to say, for Mexico City. A little bit cold in the mornings at this time of year, but it should warm up with the action here in the pool.
The sun is shining, which is always a good sign, but yes, you can see a lot of the athletes and support staff wrapped up with their scarves and their coats on, because once you've been in that cold water, it is quite cold when you get out.
Well, schedule for this morning, it's a little bit of a mixture. Finals for some events and heats for the others, which you will have finals in a session later on this evening. There is the lineup for that. We do start off with a final, and they are kind of peppered all the way through the session. Final event this morning will be the women's 50 meters freestyle S10 heat. So, in about an hour and a half, we're due for this session, as the officials there all in the kind of luminescent green shirts there. You won't miss these officials today. They're making their way onto poolside, and there are your technical officials, the referees and the technical delegates, and the starters as well, about to be introduced to the crowd here in the Francisco Marquez Olympic Pool. Of course, the Olympic Pool, they call it because it did host the Olympics back in 1968. So it's been refurbished since, but it's kind of an iconic swimming pool here in Mexico City.
It's great that it got renovated in 2009, and now we're able to use it for such a prestigious event in Paris.
Yeah, it looks very good. It's the shot you're seeing is pretty much the view that we've got. We're just a little bit slightly over to the left from that one, but it does look very, very good, and we're looking forward to some fast times. Of course, this is the event that was rescheduled, originally supposed to be held in late September, early October, but it was postponed because of the effects of the earthquake here in Mexico City. But looking good, you have to say, when we arrived here.
Yes, it's a great venue. Lots of teams have turned out, and it's very exciting to get this first day of competition underway.
Taken away for the crowd. The officials take their seat. We're about to get ready for the first final to receive the swimmers onto pool deck. The men's 100 backstroke S8 is that final. Of course, those of you that are familiar with para swimming will know S1 to 10. Those with physical impairments, 11 to 13, those with visual impairments, and the S14 classification, those with intellectual impairments. So we'll see all sorts of classifications today, this morning, and again this evening. And we start off with the S8 class, and you know, good to have quite a good start here to this final. It's a bit unusual for the swimmers to have a final in the morning, but we have seen it at major championships before.
Yes, and due to the nature of this competition and the rescheduling, it's just great to see that so many athletes are still having the opportunity to perform at this world-class level when they can get times that will count in their projections for Tokyo 2020.
The decision was made to present medals for all of the events that were original on the program in September. The first swimmer making their way out, Vasilov and Lucas Poggi there from Argentina. There's Robert Griswold. He'll be the favourite for this one, 103.92. And there's Carlamaggio, the third Argentinian in this final. And the lineup will be completed by Mark Malliart, the Israeli swimmer. So Robert Griswold, as we said, Liz, probably going to be the favourite for this one. It'll be a bit of a shock if he doesn't win this one. He was the bronze medalist in the Rio Paralympic Games last year. Just missed out on the medals at the last World Championships in Glasgow in 2015. So he'll be looking to take the first gold medal of these championships.
Yeah, I saw him at the warm-up pool, and he was excited and he was pumped. He was actually dancing to the music. So we know he's in good spirits, and he knows that this is a really good opportunity for him to take his first major championship gold medal.
And a good opportunity for some of the Argentinians as well to get into the medals. 3 Argentinians, only 5 taking the start here for this first final. So a good chance for someone to try and make a mark here. Robert Griswold from the USA in lane number 4. 3 Argentinians around him, and the Israeli Mark Malyar in lane number 6. This is the men's 100 meters backstroke S8 classification.
As we see, there are a variety of different starts. A number of these athletes having problems with their lower limbs, so big up and quickly into their strokes and strong arm pulls. And as we can see, as expected, Robert Griswold's going for it, but he's not having it all his own way down this first 50 metres.
He's not. It's lane 4 and 5 there. Robert Griswold is closest to us of those two, and he will lead going in to the halfway point here. Robert Griswold, he's got this one in control. He has a lead of around about a second or so over Carlo Maggio in second position. It's Mark Malyar in third here, but Robert Griswold stretching away.
Yeah, Robert Griswold really commanding this race now as we come into the final 25 metres. It's his. He's going for it. We can see he's got a small kick, not getting much propulsion from his legs, but he's very well balanced. He's worked really hard, and he's used Rio 2016 as a platform to keep improving, and he's going to take this opportunity to get his first gold medal.
Here he comes into the final stages now. Griswold will take the first gold for the USA, 104.17. Well, very, very close to his best time. In second position, it's Carlo Maggio from Argentina and Mark Malyar from Israel. Well, that's a good swim from him, 1:13.76 to get in for the bronze medal position, but it was Robert Griswold really all the way there. He went out very, very fast, and Robert Griswold, he was the favourite, didn't disappoint.
He knew he had an opportunity. We kept saying that, and you can only really race who's in the water at the time. He made the most of that, and time's difficult to deal with at this time of the year because of the rescheduling, but ultimately you've got to get your hand on that wall first. We actually see there Mark Malyar of the Israel out in lane 6. He made the best use of that underwater, and it helped him to come and steal that bronze medal, Paul.
Ahead of the two Argentinians, but by the time it got to this stage, around about halfway down there, it looked like it was going to be Robert Griswold all the way in this S8 100 backstroke, and yeah, Griswold has delivered.
Great way to start the meet there. That'll give him a lot of confidence going into the other events.
Result is confirmed. Robert Griswold wins the gold medal in the men's 100 backstroke S8 ahead of Carlo Maggio and Mark Malyar, silver and bronze. Decent start there for Robert Griswold. It was a good time. He went out pretty fast. 41 going to the first 50. There's the crowd. You can see that wrapped up warm as the second event comes onto the poolside. This is heats of the 100 backstroke. There is only one heat, but they will progress to the finals this evening. We saw Ibrahim Al Hussein in lane 1. In lane 2, Simone Barlan of Italy. Federico Mollacchi in 3. Ugo Didier goes in lane number 4. Jendi Pangabin in lane number 5. Coming out now. Milcar Guerra, another Argentinian. He goes in lane number 6. That's him there. And Oscar Salguero Galisteo in lane number 7. Well, in fact, there's no one in lane number 1, actually. So, no Al Hussein, the Syrian, taking the start for this one. So we have two Italians on the left-hand side of the screen. The young Frenchman, Ugo Didier. What did he do? Very, very fast entry time of 106.63. And Indonesia have never won a medal in an IPC World Swimming Championships. Could Jendi Pangabin be one of the first to do that? This is a heat, of course. It will progress to the final, but it'll be interesting to see who might just kind of stake their claim in this heat.
Yeah, there'll be a variety of tactics on show this morning. it will be about getting a good lane position for this evening's tussle for those medals.
The Spanish swimmer just up there in lane number 7, just trying to sort out the backstroke starting platform there. So get ready to go. This is the S9 classification. There's a young man from France who has the fastest entry time. Got 6 swimmers in this one. They will go through to the final, barring any disqualifications. But this is the one and only heat of the men's 100 metres backstroke S9.
There we see some great use of the underwater. The majority of these athletes having lower leg impairment, so you can see a nice strong balance stroke, and it's difficult to tell how they're going to attack this race, Paul, because as you said, they will all progress to finals barring any disqualification.
Hugo Didier has gone out very, very fast, affected in all 4 limbs, slightly in all 4 limbs, and he goes into the turn first, and time's not coming up here in the stadium, but he's definitely got a clear lead ahead of Pangabin, who's going well. As I said, Indonesia never a medalist in the championships now, and he might be a good shout for tonight. But Hugo Didier going very well as they come down this second line.
Hugo Didier there looking comfortable, and it's always great to get experience, even in heats. The younger you are, the more experience you can get in these major championships, the better your confidence gets. And here we see him coming into those final 5 metres, looking comfortable and touching the wall. Nicely there with a commanding lead.
Didier takes that one. Second place it is Pangabin, and in third it's the Argentinian Barrera, and 2 Italians in 5th and 6th, Alberto Gallisto in 4th position. So again, as you said, Liz, a good confidence builder from the young man. 105.65 is almost a second faster than his entry time, so he'll be delighted with that one.
Yeah, and he doesn't even look like he's that out of breath, so hopefully that is going to line us up for an exciting final this evening.
Well, you would expect a lot more to come from some of the big names in this one. More Lackey, where we don't often see him go over the 100 backstroke. You might expect him to go a little bit faster in the final, but he's going to have his work cut out. The young Frenchman, 105.65, very good.
Indeed. And there he is, cool as a cucumber, walking away to the swim down, Paul.
16 years of age, making his debut here at a major championships. More experienced swimmers alongside him. He's away and clear almost from the start.
Yeah, his head popped up first and he never really looked back after that. I think when you're making your debut, it's really nice to get a good confidence building swim under your belt, and it couldn't have gone any better from there. And compared to his entry time, maybe even a personal best for him.
Didier takes that one. Just waiting for the confirmed result. About to the finishing order though. Pangabin in 2nd, Guerra in 3rd. So Guerra in 4th. Not going to get that official result. We will, however, be able to move on to the next event, which is a final of the men's under backstroke S10. There is big support from Ty Dutcher coming out onto the pool side, but here equally as big support from this man, Andre Brazil, the great Andre Brazil. Can he get another world title under his belt? There's Carlo Puripu. Well, he could be the big threat to Brazil in this one. This is a final of the men's S10 100 backstroke, and there's Tamás Deutsch. Interesting character, the Hungarian, an Olympic swimmer back in 88, 92 and 96. Big chance for him to get a medal here in this Para World Swimming Championships. What about Andre Brazil? Liz, what can you say about him? You know him well.
Yeah, he's a great swimmer, isn't he? He's one of the most versatile swimmers in the whole para-swimming program, and I think as you get older, that becomes more of a challenge because you can't choose which events to concentrate on, and we can see that from the fact he's got such a big program ahead of him at this week's meet.
Just wonder if he can have another world title here. He won it back in 2010, he won it in 2015. Somewhat of a shock in 2015, really. Olivier van der Voort was the favourite from the Netherlands, but Andre Brazil managed to win that one. Ricardo Pumipu could pose a big threat here. The Estonian, also medalist in all the major championships. What can the former Olympian Tamas Deutsch do in the outside lane? And can Tai Ducha do something for the USA? Andre Brazil will start as light favourite. Final of the men's 100 backstroke S10.
Andre Brazil there using 14 metres with his 15 metres that he's permitted underwater, and as we see, that gave him the advantage there to come up in the lead.
Andre Brazil now just with almost a body length lead there as they come into the turn. It's a very positive start for Andre Brazil. Will he have the stamina to hold that coming back though? He's got a very clear lead, very close contest for the silver medal position between Deutsch, Pumipu and Ducha. But Brazil, well, he's away and clear. He's got almost a 2-second lead at halfway point.
Yeah, and the bonus of this 100 metres backstroke is if you can get up and get that commanding lead, then you can control the race because you can see your competitors behind you. And Andre Brazil is a very experienced man, and he'll be doing exactly that to conserve as much energy as possible for the rest of the week.
Well, Andre Brazil looking like he's on his way to another world title here. He's third in this event in the men's 100 backstroke S10, and it's goal for Brazil in 101.57. The silver goes to Pumipu, only just 103.55, and Tai Ducha gets a medal for the USA in third in 103.81. But it was controlled from the start by Andre Brazil.
It's hard to tell if he's happy with that, Paul, looking at that face. But you can't be disappointed with another gold medal to add to your repertoire.
Kenyan Dali just finishing there, 128.47. But Andre Brazil, well, as you said, Liz, really controlled that one from the front. 101.57, been faster in the past, but it was good enough today for another gold medal. Probably wouldn't say that backstroke was his kind of favoured stroke, but he's got a great record over the years, hasn't he? Because he burst onto the scene back in 2006.
Yeah, as we see here, he's technically good at everything, bar breaststroke. He won't mind me saying that. And I think that's what makes it so difficult for him. I mean, it means you get a good versatile training program, but at the same time, it means you don't know which events to focus on. And he's got a great, he hasn't got a bad stroke. He's so balanced there, coming into the wall, a nice long finish. I mean, if he'd had a bit more competition, but look at that for second and third, so tight. Great to see Ricardo Pumipu back on the major championship podium.
Estonians to be happy with that one. The USA seemed happy with another medal there for Tai Ducha. Brazilians will take that one. Andre Brazil taking that gold medal. That time 101.57. Next event is on its way out. We are back again, switching here from the final back to the heats. There's Polina Wozniak, who will swim in lane 2 for Poland. Sofia Konkli, 15-year-old from Hungary. She will go in lane number 3. Ryan Marquez Soto, well, one of the favourites again for this one. Spanish swimmer, a medalist, silver medalist in Rio last year. And there's Hannah Aston, USA team in great voice this morning. She was the bronze medalist last year in Rio. There's Zhu Zheling from China, another 15-year-old, goes in lane number 6. And Anna Jovovic from Serbia goes in lane number 7. So, whole bar, Polina Wozniak, all teenagers in this one.
Coming of age, changing of the guard.
The Ryan Marquez Soto and Hannah Aston, both leg amputees in the centre lanes. There's a Chinese swimmer, Su Jieling. Again, another 15-year-old. Ryan Marquez Soto had a great Paralympic Games, didn't she? Winning that gold in the 400, silver here in the backstroke. Looking to go one better today, but not have it all her own way. Hannah Aston been looking in great shape. Again, we're back to a heat, so these swimmers, all being well, should progress to the final this evening. So this is the heat of the women's.
Athletes making sure that those backstroke starting steps are in exactly the right place so they can maximise the advantage that they get off their wall. Or just making sure they're in lane 5. Hannah Aston is in the correct location.
Adjustments all complete. Judges just checking everything's okay. Backstroke S9 heat is underway.
Great reaction time there from Hannah Aston. And as you said, Paul, Nuria Marquez Soto and Aston, they're very evenly matched in terms of their impairments and experience. And Hannah Aston's really used Rio 2016 as a platform in this last year to go away and train harder, better, faster, stronger. And she's come in here probably in the best shape that we've ever seen her.
Looks like Marquez Soto just have the edge here as they go into the halfway point. Spanish swimmer, just 18 years of age. She goes into the halfway point, 35.45. Hannah Aston, 36.66. So a second in between them. Sofia Konkli also going well, the Hungarian swimmer, who was a medalist in the Europeans last year, but Marquez Soto looking really, really good here.
Yes, and we can see that spearhead formation that we know and love in the swimming pool really coming into its forte here. And Marquez Soto taking a commanding lead down this length, this final length, and she'll be comfortably into this final 5 meters.
Into the red markers, and it looks like Marquez Soto just easing in now in 1:11.87. Expect her to go faster this evening, as we would expect Hannah Aston to do that. 1:15.48, and Sofia Konkli in 3rd position. She'll be pleased with that one, I think, as the other swimmers come in. Wozniak in 4th, Su in 5th, and Jovic in 6th position there. But comfortable for Marquez Soto, hardly out of breath.
Absolutely difficult again to tell in this heat. You can see all their cars, people are just making it through to the final. Even though they're all so young, teenagers, the majority of them, they're already very experienced athletes. And they'll be saving themselves for the finals this evening.
Swimmers exit the water, all smiles. Pleased to get that one out of the way. Day 1. The swimmers just be desperate to get in the water.
Yeah, they've waited. They've had a long year of wait for this competition, and it's really nice to test and see where they're at in this first year of the Paralympic cycle.
So Marquez Soto, clear water between her and Hannah Aston. Don't expect the gap will be that much in the final tonight. And Hannah Aston just eases in. Sofia Konkli. There's Hannah Aston. And Zhu looking away from poolside. Let's move into the next event, which is back to another final. We're kind of switching between the two here. We're ready to welcome the swimmers for the women's 100 backstroke S10. French swimmers in this one. There's the first of them, Emmeline Pierre, well wrapped up. She comes out on the poolside. Bianca Pat will be the favourite again for this one. Fastest entry time, but can this young lady challenge her? And Nell Roulet. And the final swimmer, Chilean swimmer, Francisca Castro. The two 17-year-olds, Emmeline Pierre, Bianca Pat, 17, and Nell Roulet, 21. Francisca Castro, just 20. Chilean swimmer making her debut here in a major championships. Major final, should I say. Francisca Castro. Back in London, she competed for the Chilean team. Didn't make the final on that occasion, so she's won this one. Bianca Patlo she's going to be the favourite. Silver medalist last year in the Paralympic Games, a Hungarian. Swimmers for this final. The women's 100 backstroke S10.
Bianca Papp there, a bit slow off the wall, but made the most of her underwater and already made up that deficit. At 17 years old, she's still relatively young, but it's a name that we're becoming very familiar with in this S10 women's classification group.
The Hungarians had a great Paralympic swimming team for many, many years now. And some of the old stagers just beginning to fade out, but the youngsters coming through very strongly. And one of the very strongest is Bianca Pat. She leads into the halfway point, 34.64, but there's not much in it. Annette Roulet in third, the two French swimmers in second and third here.
Yeah, and like an all-sense and opportunity here, I think, to try and get on that podium and take their major championship medals. Always good to add a major championship medal to your collection. But Bianca Pat here, leading from the front, looking controlled.
And Bianca Pat looking like she might have come under pressure there from the two French swimmers, but as they come into the last five, it is going to be gold to Hungary. It's going to be gold to Bianca Pat now, and she is in that time of 110.58. And now Roulet in second, and it's bronze for France as well. So silver and bronze for France, but there's the champion, Bianca Pat, 110.58 for the Hungarians, so she will be pleased with her morning's work. Two French swimmers embrace Bianca Pat. Maybe not the best time, maybe not the time she would have hoped for, but it doesn't really matter. She has got the gold medal.
Yeah, and it's very difficult with these World Championships being rescheduled and being where they are for these athletes who judge themselves so highly on times, but actually they need to remember that when they come to the World Swimming Championships, it's all about really getting their hand onto the wall and getting on that podium.
Absolutely, and that's what Bianca Pat did there. 110.58 for the Hungarian. Just thought she was coming under a little bit of pressure there from the French swimmers around about the start of that second 50 there, but she did stretch away. She was slow off the block, wasn't she?
Yeah, she seemed to, it was almost like she didn't hear the gun because her reaction time was definitely the slowest, but her strength and her experience began to show. She went into that turn first, good turn. As you said, the two French swimmers started looking like they were catching her up, but her class, she pulled away in that final 25 metres.
They move swiftly on there to the next event, which is back to heats again, and it's the women's 100 freestyle S5. It's an event that we've been looking forward to because practically all the big names are in this one, the S5. We saw Öztürk from Turkey coming through. There's the experienced Inbal Pizarro from Israel going through in lane number 3. And the equally as experienced swimmer will go in lane 5, Teresa Perales. 26 Paralympic Games medals for the Spanish swimmer. Joanna Maria Silva in lane number 5 coming through. Svagenseva from Kazakhstan there in the picture. Goes in lane number 6, but could be a very interesting one, this one, under freestyle. Teresa Perales, the world record holder. Joanna Maria Silva has been in great form in recent years. Well, maybe she sees this as her opportunity.
Yep, she's definitely known. She's more known as a sprint for the 50 metres, but her 100 metres freestyle has been progressing. She swam really well in Rio. And this is one of those events, she said, Paul, where pretty much everyone is here. So these heat swims won't be as comfortable as some of the other heat swims that we've seen.
Range of starts here again. This is the S5 classification. You'll see some swimmers. Teresa Perales going from a sit start. Inbal Pizarro start in the water. And the swimmers will be held on the blocks as well by the coaches.
Yes, and here we see Sevile Ozturk. She's got an upper arm impairment, so she made the most of that underwater swim, 15 metres off the wall, but whereas the others came straight up and into their strokes because they're strong, arm-propelled, balanced freestylers.
Teresa Perales going well, but Joanna Maria Silva just coming through there and heading a world record holder up to the halfway point. Remember Joanna Silva's celebration when she won that medal in Glasgow. It was a picture, definitely. It lives in the memory, and she kind of wears her heart on her sleeve, Joanna Silva, definitely.
Yeah, there were a lot of tears that day, and I think she was almost as surprised as everybody else. Even though you go in believing you can win, sometimes when you pull it off, then you let your shock out and you realise how surprised you are. But here we see nice controlled swimming from all 3 ladies in the middle of the pool.
Well, we have 5 in this heat. We have 6 in the next heat. The top 8 times, the fastest 8 times, will progress to the final this evening. So they can't afford to take it too easy, but it does look comfortable for the 3 main contenders there. It is going to be Silva in lane number 5, just hitting Pizarro, with Pizarro pulling back. A very, very smooth stroke we've been accustomed to over the years, and she's coming through strongly. Great 200 freestyler, Inbal Pizarro, showing that strength in the end. 127 for the Israeli swimmer. Joanna Maria Silva, 129, and Teresa Perales, the world record holder, 130.44. So the top 3, that surely will qualify them for the final with only 6 to go in the next heat. So 3 main contenders through to that final. It was pretty comfortable in the end, Liz.
Yeah, and you would expect all 3 of those to make it safely through after the second heat is completed.
And some big names going in that second heat as well, we're about to see. But Inbal Pizarro looking strong there at the end. Teresa Perales, I'm sure she has got a lot more to give. World record stands at 1:16.65 back in Beijing in 2008, and 1:18 won the Paralympic title last year, and that Paralympic champion is going in the next heat. That's Zhang Li from China.
Lovely high elbows there from Teresa Perales and Inbal Pizarro, which is impressive considering they have no use from their waist down. So they've got that drag, and it's really difficult to get that height and that balance, but that really does help them cut through the water nicely.
Yeah, real kind of melting pot of disabilities, the kind of mid-range classes. You'll see a lot of different impairments there. The next heat, just about ready to come out. Inbal Pizarro will be the target for that, 127.24. Anna Silva, 129. Teresa Perales, 130. So someone's in the next one. They know exactly what they're going to have to do. Just wait for the next heat to come out. Joanna Silva just making her way off the pool side. Through the little kind of tunnels they have for the swimmers to come out on pool deck. You can see through that tunnel. There's the next heat coming through. the announcers here. 3 Chinese swimmers in this heat. 3 quite strong swimmers as well. There's Su Jian, gold medalist last year in Rio, the 50 fly. There's Fabulous from Hungary, in this S5 event for the first time. There's Zhang Li, Paralympic champion from China, won the gold in the 50, the 100 and the 200. And there is Sarah Louise Rung from Norway, 9 Paralympic medals to her name, one of the most experienced campaigners. The 3rd Chinese swimmer is Yao Kuan, 4th in the Paralympic Games last year. And Doña Felices from Peru. Going in the outside lane here. 7. So quite a strong field for this second heat, Liz.
Yeah, this is probably one of the most well-represented classifications, the S5 women at this rescheduled championships. Great to see 3 Chinese athletes making an appearance. And again, we'll see a range of different starts in this event.
Yeah, a number of swimmers going from the water. We also won in the previous heat. Got 5 now going from the water. See the Peruvian swimmer going from the blocks. Got that Peruvian towel on the block. It's quite abrasive, these blocks, aren't they?
Yes, we'll see a number of athletes in a variety of classifications using towels on these blocks because they are quite slippery and it is best to get a good grip so that you can maximise the advantage that you get off those blocks. But here we see these athletes choosing to start in the water, get a good push off with their strong arm and straight up into their swimming stroke so they can gather that momentum. And actually, S5 women is one of the classification groups where you see people build through each of the 50 metres.
We're going out pretty fast there in lane number 5. Looks like Sarah Louise Rung. She's heading Olympic champion here. Zhang Li. And it is, in fact, Fanny Ellis in 2nd position, but Sarah Louise Rung well out in front at the moment, 42.18. Fanny Ellis in 2nd position. And there's quite a margin between the rest of the field and these leading 2 or 3 swimmers there. Zhu from China down there right at the bottom of the screen in 3rd position.
Yeah, and here we see again a variety of different strokes. Sarah Louise Rung only really able to keep that top half of her body out of the water, so she's got to have a nice balanced stroke to combat the drag that her legs are creating. Fanny Ellis, she doesn't have the drag as she's a double leg amputee, so she's just got to generate enough power. We see a very good stroke rate. And there we see Zhu, a single arm swimmer, so a variety of strokes here.
Sarah Louise Rung will take this one. Looks like it might be the fastest time. It is 1:25.48 for the Norwegian. She is safely into that final this evening, as is Fanny Ellis in 1:32.39. And it looks like Zhu from China might make that one, 1:36.97. And Zhang, Paralympic champion here. She's coming in now. That time of 1:53.68, so just about making it into that final by round about a second there. Well, no surprise there, but she's made it. Wonder what she'll do tonight.
Yeah, these S5 ladies, we saw them all coming out wrapped up in a lot of layers with scarves, coats being pushed because they are one of the classification groups that will really struggle to maintain their own body temperature because they can't jump around like everybody else. So the cold could really affect those swimmers, and we might see that might have been the problem there in lane 4.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens tonight in that final. By my reckoning, she has made it. Just made it into that final position there in that heat. Sarah Louise Rung, that's comfortable for her. She did pretty good, actually. Real rivalry between her and Teresa Perales. Friendly rivalry over the years. Move on now to the next event. Again, we're switching between finals and heats. It's the final of the men's 100 meters breaststroke. Just to reiterate here, a lot of these rescheduled events, the rescheduled championships, of course, from September and October this year. As you see, the results there for that second heat: 125.48. Eunice in second. Chinese swimmers in third, fourth, and fifth. Sarah Louise Rong will be fastest into that final. There's the great Norwegian. Yeah, I think she might have a good championships here, Liz. She's been on good form. A lot of competition last year in Rio. Teresa Perales and Sarah Louise Rong were expected to dominate that one, and they did very well, but the Chinese swimmers also came through very strongly in Rio last year.
But I think, again, Sarah Louise Rong and Teresa Perales, they've had such a good rivalry that they've shown S5 women around the world what is possible. And as we saw in Rio, they did have both of them had fantastic championships, but it meant that they inspired other people to come along and push those boundaries. So they didn't have it all their own way as we would have expected, but neither of them went home with a bad medal haul.
Absolutely. Joana Silva, again from Brazil. She might be one that might just cause a surprise. It's going to be a close race, I think, tonight. That should be a really good one.
Yes, and with the variety of different disabilities in the group, the race will be swum in a number of different ways, which makes it even more exciting.
So now I think about to move to that final. We mentioned earlier, it is the men's 100 breaststroke SB14. There's Robert Isaac Johnson. The SB14, swimmers with an intellectual impairment. Here's Adam Venom, European bronze medalist from Norway. Parmentier from Belgium in lane number 5, and Lauren Sapp from the USA in lane number 6. The first event for swimmers with intellectual impairment. This final, 4 swimmers taking the start for this one. Adam Venom will be the favourite, the Norwegian. I've seen some great contests over the years in this event. Adam Venom really kind of came through the ranks last year, took a European bronze medalist. Only a second or so outside taking that gold medal in the Europeans. So he will be very much the favourite for this one. We'll keep an eye on the clock. See what kind of time they can get now. Final of the men's 100 breaststroke SB14.
All pretty evenly matched there with their reaction times, but actually the best underwater phase coming from Robert Isaac Johnson in that lane 3. Now they're up and into the strokes. There's so many factors that can affect SB14 swimmers, whether it's pacing, environment, number of competitors. So it's always interesting to see how these races pan out.
Going up to the turn now, it does look like Venom is first to that wall in 32.48, so pretty swift time there for Adam Venom from Norway. In second it is Johnson, and in third Parmentier, but Adam Venom came off that wall really, really well and stretching his lead now.
A real opportunity here for Adam Venom to dominate, and as he is starting to do, and we can see again this spearhead that we love in swimming, spearhead formation really taking shape, and him leading from the front in lane 4 domination, as we like to see in a final.
And they're into the lead markers now. It is Adam Venom now. He's going to take the gold medal. He's going to take the world title. It is gold to Norway in 109.29. The silver in a close contest, but it is Robert Isaac Johnson will take that one for Iceland. And Parmentier in third position, just ahead of Lawrence Sapp from the USA.
It's hard to tell. I think he's happy. Because you know he's won it really. Sometimes you can't see the board. Sometimes the board's down the other end of the pool and it's too far away. You can't see your time. And again, these swimmers, especially S14s, sometimes the way they judge themselves is on their time. And here at the World Championships, all about winning the race.
That's exactly what Adam Benham did. Just stretching away there from his competitors in the first 50. Clear water now as he comes into the final. He was the favourite for this one. Took that gold medal ahead of Johnson. Adam Benham takes the gold for Norway ahead of Robert Johnson from Iceland. Parmentier the bronze for Belgium.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the athletes for the event, Women's 100 meters freestyle S11. Señoras y señores, presentamos a los atletas que competirán en la prueba.
Finals, got a good mix of both events, and it's nice to see that everything's so far going swimmingly.
Oh, see what you did there.
I thought I'd rival your cheese.
Haven't started yet, it's early.
I know, get in there early, get in there before you.
The next final is the women's 100 freestyle S11. Kanjamala Pandey from India we saw going through. McLean Hermes from the USA in lane 4. Tatiana Latinova from Slovakia. She goes through there in lane number 5. And big support for the Mexican swimmer here. Tilda Alcazar Figueroa. Wonder can Mexico get on the medal podium on this first morning of competition? It'd be great to see, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would give the home crowd something to really cheer about, though. They're in good voice even before this race starts.
A lot of support there. This is under freestyle for S11 swimmers. Kamala Pandey, Plain Hermes, Tatiana Latinova, and Matilda Alcazar Figueroa. There's the Mexican tenor belting that one out. You hear that with all the Mexican finalists this week. You can pick that up on the microphone. It's the final of the women's 100 freestyle S11.
And here we'll see them all up and into their strokes and looking for those lane ropes to use as their direction as they go down this first 50 metres.
Certainly a very, very close contest at the moment. It's all to play for here. Tilda Alcazar Figueroa had a very, very good start there, right at the top of your screen. And she is battling for the lead with McLean Hermes at the moment. Latinova, the 15-year-old from Slovakia, in third. And Pandey just losing ground, the Indian swimmer, in lane number 3.
And these turns so important for these S11 swimmers, because if they don't get that correct push off the wall, they get disorientated. It's coming back up into the second 50, but great to see that they're all on the lane ropes here. And here we see Tatiana Blatanova and, the Mexican, Paul. Mexican Alcazar Figueroa really feeding off this home crowd in lane 6 and leading into this final 15 metres.
Well, Matilda Alcazar Figueroa, going to be a gold medal for Mexico here. She is coming into the final stages, and it looks like it may well be gold for Mexico in a time of 1:17.52. Matilda Alcazar Figueroa is the world champion. Plain Hermes in second position, 1:19.67, and Latinova in third in 1:20.10. But, well, That was a sensational swim by the Mexican in the outside lane.
Yep, she entered with no time, and it's all they're always the ones you've got to watch because there's always surprises in there. 1:17.52, and more importantly, a gold medal that she'll be over the moon with.
Well, the Mexican's going crazy here, just all around us here in the commentary position, and of course, not sure if she will know about that. She might have heard the stadium announcer in that one, but she got off really well, didn't she?
Yes, she did. And but she took us by surprise down that second 50, but she actually had a great start using the underwater better than most of her competitors. And there she got a great high elbow. She's slightly off the lane rope, so it could have gone either way. She was challenged down that first length by Blatinova of Slovakia, but a great turn, a better turn, up and into that turn. And actually, McLean Hermes had a storming second 50, and there we see her coming through. But what a finish. It's so hard for these S11 swimmers. Sometimes they miss the wall, but some great finishes there that we saw.
Alcazar Figueroa is the world champion, gold medalist from Mexico, McLean Hermes the silver, and Blatinova the bronze. Oh, that's a surprise there for the Mexican, a pleasant surprise for the home crowd here, and they are delighted with that one. All smiles for this Mexican crowd.
Worth getting up and out into the cold for. That'll warm the hearts.
Yeah, she's someone we really haven't seen very much of at all on the international stage, but well, a new star is born here in Mexico.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the athletes for the event, women's 100 meters freestyle S7. Señoras y señores.
The next event, back to heats again. For that one. It's the S7 100 freestyle. Belgian swimmer leads them out. Celine Deleuze. Denise Graal, silver medalist. European Championships last year. And well, the Mexican crowd really warmed up here. Mantuano will be Mantuano in lane number 5. So one of the fastest lanes for the Mexicans here. Costa Rica swimmer Sara Miranda Corrales. Number 6. Here the Mexicans. That chant there. This is a heat, of course. We have 5 swimmers to go in the next heat. Denise Graal, the German, will be very much the favourite for this one. What can the Mexicans do? They fired up by that previous performance.
Well, then your shot should definitely be inspired by that previous final swim, seeing her compatriot take the gold medal.
Wobble at the start here. Looks like they're set now. Oh, lightning start there from the Mexican. Mantuano. Denise Graal up quickly into her stroke and goes into the lead.
Yes, Denise Graal, a silver medalist in Rio in 2016 in the 50 metres freestyle, so we know she's got that front end speed and nice controlled swimming there from her this morning. Nice balance, strong leg kick propelling her down this first 50 metres.
Certainly going to be one of the ones to watch in this classification. Denise Graal looking pretty comfortable. She goes into that halfway point through there in 34.80. He has a lead of about 4.5 seconds over the Mexican. Mantuano. And in third place, it is Celine Deleuze from Belgium. 5 to go in the next heat, so the top 3 should qualify for that final. Disqualifications. 4th position at the moment is the Costa Rican swimmer. But Denise Graal just making sure of this one. Entry time of 1:12. As the clock just ticks over at 1:10 here, she's going to be not too far away from that. The heat swim 1:15-ish, yeah, 1:15.59 for Denise Graal. Followed home by Barrera Olympic and Celine Deleuze, and those 3 should make the final. To go. Pretty comfortable for Denise Graal. A little bit, breathing a little bit heavy there.
Well, she looked to me like she took it out strongly for the first 75 metres, got that commanding lead, and then eased into that final 5 metres. But by then, you know, your heart and lungs are already pumping.
Great start from the Mexican. Very, very fast off the block there, but as soon as they got into the stroke, Denise Graal a little bit better underwater. She comes into the turn now. By the time they got into that second lane, really not much doubt he was going to take that heat. Nice, I like these head-on shots, Liz. It really shows the technique of the swimmers.
Yeah, the quality, and there we see that leg kick propelling her through into that final, and a lovely finish there, comfortable finish. She's got a bit more for this evening, Paul.
Denise Graal looks round, tries to have a look at the scoreboard, which is 50 metres away from her, very much the other side of the pool. She is confirmed in first place, 1:15.59. They're in second position, sorry, and Celine Deleuze in third. Next heat.
Ladies and gentlemen,
About to come through.
introduce the athletes for the event. Women's 100 meters
Two
freestyle
of this
S7.
women's 100 freestyle
Señoras y
S7.
señores, presentamos a los atletas que competirán en la prueba de 100 metros libres femenil S7. In lane 2, representing Dominican Republic, Lourdes Alejandra
Dominican Republic,
Diaz.
Abahed Diaz, 7.
In lane 3, representing Estonia, Brenda Thiel.
Again, we've got some new names to us, really.
In lane 4, representing USA, Mackenzie
Some of
Juan.
these swimmers coming through. Quite a big kind of Latin American presence here at these championships, as you might expect.
Yeah, and I think this first year of the Paralympic cycle, that having a World Championships in this year is so important because it really does give the opportunity to capitalise on the momentum that is generated from the previous year's Paralympic Games. And we do see a number of these newcomers, people making their debuts, youngsters getting opportunities to race, and it really is exciting for the Paralympic movement.
Brenda Tilt, Mackenzie Cohn, Kaylee Ting, Ida Anderson Wolf join Abdar Diaz, Dominican Republic swimmer, in this second heat. Mackenzie Cohn, of course, Paralympic champion from last year. Mackenzie Cohn is going to be one of the favourites for this one, Liz. Denise Graal, Mackenzie Cohn, advertisers at big head-to-head.
Yes, and I think we'll see more of a head-to-head potentially in that 50 metres freestyle because Denise Graal is so strong on that first length of this race. This is probably Mackenzie Cohn's to lose, I think it would be fair to say, but you've got to be in it to win it. You've got to get through these heats, so we'll see what she does this morning.
Mackenzie Cohn, 3 up. As we look at the swimmers here, Ida Anderson Wolf being held on the blocks by her coach. And just let her go as the starting signal sounds for this second heat of the women's 100 freestyle S7. Mackenzie Cohn up very quickly into her stroke and into the lead.
Yeah, and a really high, strong stroke weight there from Mackenzie Cohn. Trying to put a stamp on this from the start. and doing so as she develops a body length lead into the final 50 meters of this first 50 meters.
Kaylee Ting from China in second position. And looks like in third place, it might be Brenda Tilt possibly, or possibly Ida Andersson-Wolf going through in third position now. It is Andersson from Sweden, but the two away and clear. Mackenzie Cohn and the Chinese swimmer Kaylee Ting. Mackenzie Cohn really stretching back that advantage now as they come down into the last half length here.
Yeah, we saw how she really attacked the first 25 meters of this race, Paul, and now she hasn't given up, but she's looking lots more controlled, and I'm sure she'll be saving something for this evening.
Well, Mackenzie Cohn coming in now. We saw a previous heat for Denise Graal. That time has been bettered by Mackenzie Cohn, so she will go into that final this evening in pole position. Kaylee Ting in second place there, 1:18.02. And in third place it is Ida Andersson-Wolf, and Brenda Tilt just about holding off the challenge from Ibar Diaz from the Czech Republic. So yeah, 1:11.95, looked comfortable for Mackenzie Cohn. A reasonable time, big smile from the American and a wave. He's very pleased with that swim.
Mackenzie Cohn away well there and straight up into a stroke, and she stamped her authority on this race from the beginning and didn't leave it in doubt. And there we see her, she's going into the turn. Again, these head-on shots, these shots from behind, brilliant to see the quality of these swimmers' strokes. Not using much underwater because her kick isn't so strong, but her arm pull, great long strokes, and finishing on a full stroke there. Exciting final in prospect for this evening.
Mackenzie Cohn and Denise Graal will be the top two from the heat. Mackenzie Cohn taking that second heat ahead of Kaylee Ting and Ida Andersson-Wolf, Swedish swimmer. And Brenda Tilt should qualify for that final as well, the Estonian. And it looks like Abdar Diaz may well have sneaked in there as well. Go on to the next
Ladies
event.
and gentlemen,
Longer distances now. 400
freestyle
freestyle for men
and
6. So
400
2
meters
heats
freestyle is
of this
6.
one. 5 swimmers in each of the heats.
In lane 2, representing Spain, Anthony
Yeah.
Ponce Bertrand.
Very strong lineup for this one.
In lane 3,
Here's
representing
Antonio
Spain,
Ponce Bertrand.
Josu Perez Diago. In lane
Next
4,
to
representing
is
Cuba,
teammate
Lorenzo
Perez Diago.
Escalona.
2 Spanish swimmers, and there is Lorenzo
Lane
Perez
5,
Escalona,
representing Italy, Antonio
Cuban.
Fanti.
champion, the Paralympic champion
In lane
in
6,
freestyle
representing
from
Egypt,
Rio last year.
Ahmed Ali.
Antonio Fantin, the Italian, and Ahmed Ali from Egypt completes the lineup in lane number 6. Another Italian we haven't really seen before, Antonio Fantin. They've got quite a decent squad, the Italians. Been building it up over the years, haven't they?
I think that is sometimes the key. You need 1 or 2 headline swimmers to really get the momentum going in your country. And here we can see Fantin in lane 5 benefiting from that momentum that the Italians have produced.
Of starts here in the S6 class. This is heat 1 of the men's men's 400 freestyle S6.
And as we see, a range of starts, but equally effective. And we saw that Perez Escalona, he doesn't have any leg kick, he just does drag. But by going from that seated start, he's able to use the length of his limbs at least to get an advantage and come up and straight into his stroke at the flags.
Perez Escalona, Cuban swimmer, is 5th out of the 5 swimmers here. Good lead start. Very fast in lane 6. It's Ahmed Ali. He's got out. Perez Escalona. Well, second heat is fairly strong as well. Perez Escalona, in these early stages, he's got a little bit of work to do, but very experienced campaigner. Probably best known as a sprinter, 150 freestyle in the past. Also very strong in the 400 freestyle, took a bronze medal last year in Rio. And maybe just biding his time. We know that he's got a lot more to give. And that stroke for the Cuban is just very, very long and effective. Ali from Egypt will lead them. Bertrand in second for Spain, and the young Italian 16-year-old Antonio Fantine in third position. A little bit stretched out now, Liz. They go into the second 100.
And the key on these 400 metres is not to get sucked into someone else's race plan. We've got such a variety of impairment types in here, and experience, and also strengths and weaknesses. So it's very much about swimming your own race in a 400 metre freestyle. And already we see there, even though Ahmed Ali took that first 100 metres out, now he's slowed his pace down and settled into a different rhythm, and we will see the lead changing hands.
Has changed hands already. Ponce Bertrand taking that up the running now. He's in the lane closest to us. And 2 swimmers there on the top of your screen. That is Ahmed Ali and Antonio Fantine. These swimmers, well, Fantine certainly around about the 5:30 mark is his entry time. As they go through the halfway point, Antonio Bertrand, 2:35.96. Fantine moved into second place, Ahmed Ali in third position. Perez Escalona and Perez Diego in fourth and fifth.
Here we see in these races there's 2 heats, there's 10 swimmers, so we need to lose 2 to make it through to the final. And these swimmers, which is why we see Ponce Bertrand within and out of the lane with a slightly slower entry time, taking control of the race to try and guarantee his progression into the final this evening. Antonio Fantine here is making his debut for the Italian team at these World Para Swimming Championships of 2017 and getting a nice race under his belt to settle his nerves and give him some confidence for this evening.
Well, Ponce Bertrand is going to lead them into this 300 mark. The youngster in second. Just under 4-minute mark here as they come to this final 100. Perez Escalona has moved through now, challenging for third position. Early leader Ahmed Ali now under threat from the Cuban. Perez Escalona just conserving energy here. He knows that if he's in the top 3 of this heat, he will make it into the final. Ali trying to hold on though. 2 just leading them through now. Ponce Bertrand and Antonio Fantine in first and second position. They look like they're going to be safely through into that finals.
There's no doubt about the leaders, the front runners in this first heat, but as we saw there, Perez Escalona starting to wind up his stroke, and I'm still comfortable but winding it up to sit on the shoulder. And as we went into that final turn, just taking over Ahmed Ali to try and secure that third spot in this first heat.
And first two swimmers coming into the final stages now. It looks like it is going to be Antonio Fantin will take this one. He does take it in 5:15.51, so that could be a big improvement on his best time. He'll be pleased with that one. Elsie Bertrand in second position in 5:17, and it looks like Perez Escalona will come through into third position, so he should make it into that final. That was very, very relaxed from Paralympic bronze medalist. Yeah. Time for Perez Escalona, 5:37.57, just ahead of Ahmed Ali, 5:40.19, with Perez Thiago in fifth position, 5:45.17. So, young Italian, 5:15.51, good swim. I just think Perez Escalona looked like he had a plan there.
I feel like he knew exactly what he was doing. He got a good start and then really settled in, almost used it as a training swim and built through the 400 metres, just doing just enough to secure himself a place in the final. But all credit to Antonio Fantin. He wasn't fazed by the fact that it was his first race at a major championships. He built through the 400 metres, didn't get sucked into anyone else's race plan, looked comfortable and actually wound it up a negative split that race. So his second half of his race was 5 seconds quicker than the first half of his race.
Very good display there for the Italian swimmer Antonio Fantin. Bertrand was comfortable as well in second position at 400, and Perez Escalona in third. Move on to the second heat. See another Italian in this one, probably better known than his young teammate, it's Francesco Bacchiardo. Won World Championship last time in 2015, also won the Paralympic gold in Rio last year, so with a great record already at major championships. Just waiting for the other swimmers to clear the pool deck from that previous heat. Here is Oscar Osorio Campas, Colombian swimmer, followed out by Yang Hong. Here is the Paralympic champion, Francesco Bacchiardo. What he can do, see what he has to do to make that final. Taliesin clock. Someone you know well, Liz, goes in lane number 5. Conor Giuffrida, it's like he means business. He's out there in lane number 6, the USA swimmer. It's the Colombians. Quite a close-knit team, the Colombians.
Yeah, and another example there, Oscar Osorio Campos going in lane 2 for Colombia, of a nation who have had a couple of real trendsetters in these last couple of years in Nelson Crispin and Carlos Serrano, and now inspiring that next generation, so we see the depth increase within those nations.
Bacchiardo making his way in from the side, here he comes. Into that centre lane. Top of the world rankings this year, he's been top of the world rankings for 2015 and 2016. Very much the favourite for the title again here in Mexico City. 4 swimmers going for the block. Bacchiardo in the water. second heat, the men's 400 freestyle S6.
Again, we see a variety of starts there. Francesco Bocchiaro starting in the water, and as we can see, a disadvantage off those starts. As he gets through this 400 meters, as it progresses, we will see him build and build and build.
Taliesin Glock and Yang, the early pace setters. Conor Giuffrida, again trying to hold on. He's gone out pretty fast, the USA swimmer.
Yeah, Conor Giuffrida is a freshman at Frostburg State University in Maryland, and him, along with another S6 swimmer from America, Zach Schuttberg, that we will see later in the program, who benefited from being with each other, because with that postponement of this original competition, they were left with only each other to train with, and that can sometimes be difficult, but strength in numbers, Paul.
Well, we started off positively. The American, there's the Chinese swimmer, Yang Hong. Gone out to an early lead there, but he's been overtaken as they come into the 100 mark by Paralympic champion Bocciardo. Saw an Italian take that previous heat. Got an Italian leading the way in this one now, 118.02 at the 100 mark. Very, very comfortable for Bocciardo. Taliesin Glock in second, Yang Hong in third position. Bocciardo really showing his strength here, showing his class.
Yeah, we see in this S6 classification a variety of different impairment groups, and you often find that certain impairment types are better suited to certain events, and that can definitely be said for Francesco Bocchiardo in this 400 meters freestyle, because he's got time to develop a rhythm and build the strength that he has in those arms as we go through these events. He doesn't get a huge push off the wall, no underwater kick, whereas someone like Yang Hong, he's propelling himself purely almost with his leg kick, and they are the biggest muscle groups, so they do get the biggest build-up of lactic acid, and as we see, a burn, whereas someone like Francesco Bocchiardo, as with his compatriot in the first heat, Antonio Fantin, they will just build and build as these legs develop.
Taliesin Glock moving into second position. He's another type of disability as well, really, all down one side.
Yeah, Taliesin Glock does very well, considering he has limbs only on one side of his body to keep balanced, and we'll see next time the camera zooms in on him that he really, even though he's only got a very small stump on that left arm, he always uses the shoulder roll and breathes to that side to try and keep as balanced as possible.
Bocciardo stretching his lead all the way. It's close for second, Taliesin Glock and Yang Hong in second and third position. Bocciardo looking very, very good indeed as they move into the second half of this race. As you might expect, 2:37.91 was the split there, so not going to be the fastest he's done this year, but it certainly looks like it's going to be the fastest of the two heats.
Yeah, Bocchiardo there, a comfortable lead, and he is the experienced man, one of the most experienced men on the Italian team. And the great thing about seeing Fantin go in that first heat, though, is it's always nice to know that you've got domestic competition, because you can never rest on your laurels, even when you're at home training or you go to a domestic competition. You always want to stay that one step aside. So he's no doubt been an inspiration to Antonio Fantin that we saw in the first heat, but ultimately he'll want to make sure he doesn't have to stay ahead of him.
Bocciardo coming to the 300 mark. He has a lead of somewhere around about 15 to 20 metres.
And here we see Taliesin Glock, and as I was saying, they're maximising that shoulder roll on his stump arm, even though he's not getting any propulsion from it at all, because it's so easy when you're dominant on that one side to end up almost swimming on your side, and then you don't get maximum propulsion from the water because you're not getting hold of as much of it as possible. So that is a technique that he has developed, and not many athletes are able to do it as well as Taliesin Glock does it.
Very successful competitor, Taliesin Glock, over the years, so watch out for him in the individual medley later on in the week. He'll be keen to do well in this 400 freestyle. Bocciardo really coming away from the rest now, showing his class here. the top man in the world, as I said, for the last 3 years, and he shows no sign of letting that top spot slip away from him. He's got a best time this year, just over the 5-minute mark. It's not going to be quite as fast as that this morning, but it doesn't really matter because he's going to be just about the fastest into this final. Might just slip by him. 5:17:36. In fact, he is behind his teammate, Fantine, just behind the Spaniard as well. So 2 Italians in the top 3 as we go into the final. You'll be pleased that Paralympic champion, job done.
Yeah, and that'll be great experience as well for Antonio Fantine, going into that final, into the core room, in the middle lanes, with what is no doubt, I would assume, to be one of his great heroes.
Taliesin Glock is in there for 2nd position, and Yang will also make the final in 3rd position. Just coming through at the bottom there. Looks like it is Osorio Campas, and Giofreda will be in 5th position. Bocciado will make that one. 5:17:36. Pretty close between the 2 heats, the winners of that.
And actually very similar swimming styles. The way they attack that race, their stroke style, their impairment, how it affects them. But as we saw there, Bocciado definitely a disadvantage off that start, but he soon overcame that as the race developed. And never really looked back once he hit the front of the pack.
Just about this moment where Bocciado was carrying his way through to the front of the field. And at the end, no one in sight. Bocciado takes that 2nd heat, 5:17:36, ahead of Taliesin Glock and Yang Hong from China. Next one, Liz, we move on to the 100 backstroke S12. It's another heat. This one, 8 swimmers in this S12. One and only heat. They will all progress to the finals this evening. Fansiev, first of the 2 Kazakhstan swimmers, followed by his teammate Akhmetov. Brazilian swimmer Thomas Rocamatera. Here's Tuka Dupree. Americans certainly get behind their team this morning. Tigonides, well, big hero for the Greek team. Gold medalist in his home Paralympic Games back in 2004. Franco Schmidt from South Africa. At major international.
In lane A,
Vaskovic from Belarus, lane 7, and Mark Gunnarsson from Iceland in lane 8. So again, another one of the visually impaired races, Liz.
Always exciting. Again, a range of different. We'll see some athletes using tapper sticks to identify when they're coming into the wall because they won't have the ability to see the flags that indicate that they are 5 meters out from the walls. And some athletes choosing to rely purely on their stroke count.
The one and only heat of the men's 100 backstroke. Race 12. A few experienced campaigners in this one. Tuka Dupree. Tigonides in the centre lanes in 4 and 5. The heat of the men's 100 backstroke S12. little bit of delay at the start again. Swimmer's getting reset. Underway now.
Great reaction time there from Tucker Dupree, up and into using 14 metres of his 15 metres that are permitted underwater, up and into his stroke. But there, as we see, the seasoned campaigner from Greece, Chaganidis, always goes a bit old school, no swimming hat, no goggles. He's not going to let Tucker Dupree have it all his own way.
Tucker Dupree, been a medalist at the major championships for, well, a number of years now. Never quite managed to hit the top spot. It's a good chance for Tucker to get a gold medal, but Tiganidis will push him all the way. Tiganidis actually leads them through by 8/100ths of a second. Dupree come off the wall very well though. Schmidt from South Africa in third place, and Tucker Dupree looks comfortable now as they come into that second 50.
Yeah, flat balance stroke there from Tucker Dupree. Only 8 swimmers in this race, so they should all progress through to the final. So really it's about getting that first swim under your belt and blowing the cobwebs away.
Dupree will ease into the wall now, stretches at the end, 104.18. Quite comfortable for Tucker Dupree. Tiganidis went out fast. He's back there for second position, and Schmidt, the South African, 107.15. Well, that's a PB and African record for Schmidt from South Africa, so good swim from the South African swimmer in the heats this morning.
Debut magic right there.
Good stuff. He qualifies in third position for that final this evening. Vashkevich from Belarus was third place, but Tucker Dupree, Tiganidis, as we expected, were the two there that led out the field. Really high from Tiganidis at the start there.
Yeah, this is one of the impairment groups that really benefit from the introduction of that backstroke ledge, because they all have 2 strong limbs that they can push off of. I mean, obviously, the thing that most of these athletes have is they don't have enough vision to see where their competitors are, or even know what times they've gone when they touch that wall, which is why we don't always see the big celebrations that we become accustomed to in other categories.
Tucker Dupree looked pretty comfortable with his performance. He takes that heat, 104.18. Tiganidis in second, and Schmidt, African record, in third place. Move to our final of this morning's session.
In line 5, representing Finland, Antiantero.
There's Ihar Boki, well, one of the real superstars of para swimming worldwide. 4 swimmers are in this final. Tran from Vietnam completing the lineup. Lignos from Greece goes in 3, Ihar Boki in 4, Latika from Finland in 5, and Tran from Vietnam in lane number 6. Men's 100 backstroke S13. There's Ihar Boki. Already 11 Paralympic Games gold medals to his name, from London and from Rio. The World Championship record is even more impressive. The 15 gold medals from his 3 World Championships. So Ihar Boki, the world record holder, the championship record holder, he is definitely going to be the man to beat. That black cap of Belarus. Next to him, Latika in lane 5 in the centre. Vietnam just having that starting block, starting ledge adjusted. This is the final, the men's 100 backstroke S13. Yarboki off to a great start there, as you would expect. The world record holder up and away and clear right at the start.
Yeah, 14.5 metres of that underwater that's permitted use there, and he definitely benefited from it because he's already 2 body lengths up into the lead. And as we would expect, Paul, it is his race to command control and his race to dominate, and he's definitely doing that as he comes into this first turn, the only turn in 27.66.
Well, he's only 0.2 of a second outside world record pace. Yarboki really dominating this one. Antti Latika from Finland clear in second. It's a Vietnamese swimmer Tran in at 3rd position, ahead of Lignos at the moment. But here is Yarboki, Liz.
Yeah, and as he's coming, look at that head-on shot there. Great straight arm, strong stroke. He'll be used to racing the clock as a visually impaired swimmer.
Into the last 5 now, it's going to be gold again for Yarboki. It's 57.45, and that is mightily impressive. But it is the 16th World Championship gold medal for Yarboki of Belarus. Antti Latika from Finland will take silver, and Lignos from Greece will take the bronze medal. But a great swim again from Yarboki. Well, fantastic stuff there from the Belarusian. That is less than a second outside his own world record time. It was never in doubt. Yarboki, the champion again.
Breathing heavily there, looked like he might be paying the price for that really, really fast first 50 metres there.
Well, he set the world record in Rio last year. The championship record was set in Glasgow. But look at that start. Absolutely superb there. As you said, Liz, he was leaving nothing to chance here. Came up 14.5 metres. By the time they got to halfway, well, the race were over and done with.
Yeah, but he didn't stop. He kept going, and he finished. Missed the wall there, long stroke again. Some of these visually impaired athletes really struggle to see these flags.
Yarboki is the world champion again. 57.45. Latika from Finland in second, and Lignos the bronze from Greece. Final that we have to go this morning. We do have heats though for the women's 50 freestyle S10. So Emily Pierre from France come out ahead of Sportacini from Italy, Suzanne Cowell from Estonia, and Anel Roulet from France. Completing the 4 swimmers for this first heat. 5 swimmers more to go in the second heat. Again, one of these young Italians as well. Sportacini, new name. Pretty much to us. Liz, debut in the major championships for Sportacini. Roulet, more experienced campaigner from France. Twice a Paralympian, London and Rio.
Both French ladies back in the water after their 100 metres backstroke exploits in that final earlier today.
The S10 class swimmers with a minimal impairment. Even start there.
A start there coming from Susanna Cole, but as we see now there, we see a straight arm technique she's using from Estonia. Bit of a splash and a dash, this 50-metre freestyle, Paul.
It is Sportacini just about forging ahead as they come into the final stages here. If she can just dip under the 29-second mark, 29.21 for Sportacini. She takes first position. Susanna Cole after that good start, 30.04 in second, and Emily Pierre in third, just ahead of her teammate Nell Roulet. Could be an important touch there. 30.14 for Emily Pierre. Should qualify her for the final, but will it be enough for Nell Roulet? Just to wait for that second heat. Sporticini takes that one.
Yeah, 50-metre freestyle, there's really not that much opportunity to take your foot off the gas too much, even though the heats, and there is confirmation there that Alessia Sporticini takes that first heat in a time of 29.21 on her debut fit.
The final heat to go.
Explosive starts there, up and into their strokes. Nicely, but there you see Sporticini using some of that debut dust, the magic, to take that lead and take that victory in that first heat.
A lot of new Italian names that we'll see at these championships. They've started pretty well. Heat number 2, there is the lineup. Svadgastaya, Anders Santos, Chen, Jablonska, and Stino Zapata. Another Mexican here, so we'll hear a big cheer, I'm sure. There is Zapata. I remember her very much as a distance swimmer. She swam very well at the World Championships last time in Glasgow in 2015. Was one of the top qualifiers for the 400 freestyle. Going over the shorter distance today. So anything under 30 seconds, around about the 30-second mark, should qualify for you the final. Number 2, 50 freestyle is 10.
There we see Chen of China in lane 4 getting the best start there, using it to advantage, and a great leg kick here as she goes down, well, it's one and only length.
Chen looks like she's coming away and cleared bronze medalist from Rio last year, and Chen will take this one, and decent time, 28.03, very, very good time for Chen. And she is first there, and it is Cristina Zapata in second. That has pleased the Mexican supporters here, 29.68, she'll be in the final. And Hernando Santos from Spain in third position. That was a great time from Chen. You can see there, Asian record for the Chinese swimmer, 28.03.
Underwater for the longest, came up in
pleases the home crowd with that second place finish, and Hernando Santos from Spain in third position. That is our final action of the heat session this morning. Our officials just getting ready to depart the poolside. Thank you, Liz, for this morning's session.
Thank you. It's exciting. Great to see so many Mexicans rising to the challenge.
Absolutely, they're enjoying themselves here on this day 1 heat session. We will be back at 6 p.m. local time tonight here in Mexico. We just get confirmation of that result again, the Asian record for Chen to finish us off with. We'll be back tonight, 6 o'clock local time for the final session. Please join myself and Liz at that time. We will see you then. Have a nice day.